Hey everyone, Shawnee here. I know we are supposed to start the next episode by now, but I want to make a few notes on this particular episode. Well, okay, mainly one. Mainly because one of the characters by the name of Miss Skeleton, she is my 7 foot tall half blood moose character that I absolutely fell in love with. Was my half blood OC or persona or such or whatever. But all thanks to the permission of Siren's son, Lovey Bro, that allowed me to at least make this character freely. So, with that in mind, some of the lore featured in here is all based upon Siren Son's Half Blood universe and everything in between, and all the playlist is featured right in here, and his work is totally amazing. And he granted me permission to mention the lore and such, since you may, as if you haven't figured out by now, NIARB is based upon the human brain, which in this case, for my version of NIARB, is my own human brain. So, yeah, to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. But anyways, I wanted to let you know that everything featured in the lore and such, Siren Sons fans, you will definitely recognize this. But anyways, thank you, bro, for allowing me to feature this and giving the blessing and all that. Go and subscribe to his channel. He's awesome. Bye!
Near the Grand Library is a three-story building where visitors are greeted by a red-brown wooden sign with a painted image of a bison skull covered in turquoise stone.
Excuse me, Dr. Newcastle. Do you mind slowing down? There's only so much a ringtail cat can write down with these little paws.
The turquoise skull was a place where all could unwind, and workers would often meet to trade, fellowship, or speak their minds. Giggy still felt uneasy after removing the bloodbane from Lamar Lupin's system. The Warden Lakin claimed that she had never been to the inn.
I'm thinking that Arango Palmer would numb my nerves before the foreseeable tanning of Lottie's new rug. It's a valuable piece of Telpyware, due to the years of starfall dust keeping the tin seasoned and making each batch better than the last. It was also a souvenir from when we went to a well-known realm during our mating moon. Ah, lad. Good. You'd come to say goodbye before my inevitable end.
I'm sure that Lottie will understand the reason why, Rogers.
Hey, Miss Galatian, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Took up another class to teach?
Indeed, I have. Arthur insisted that if I needed to fulfill my clinical field hour requirements. Besides, I needed to lie low for a while from my other realm.
Is the sanctuary being sacked?
No, not yet. But there have been some rumors. In the meantime, though, I'm taking the liberty to teach the Tekla pages and squires some history and literature here. Sorry, lad, but even the warriors of old had some education in their arsenal. Not many people or creatures get that luxury. Someday, lad, you'll appreciate the values of being able to read and write. And who might these fine young individuals be? A pleasure. My students call me Miss Skeleton, but you can call me Miss Gal, or just Gal if you wish.
Miss Gal's been teaching various students in both her world and our local schoolhouses for novices, regardless of race and status.
Hoo hoo hoo, how I reside in two places? Well, I shall tell you. But first, let's go inside. I am famished, and conversation with fellowship make the meal taste even better, especially among friends.
My last meal, probably.
You betcha, ma'am. The smell is certainly divine. It's provided the best berry porridge over the 2 years I visited this place.
Good evening, Miss Gal. Lord Rogers?
Maddie, I didn't see you in class today. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes, I am. But we are overwhelmingly understaffed again. The last barkeep quit after the prompter wore him out. Arteris is holding down the bar and trying to get the circulates delivered to the guests.
Circulates. It's Corinthian, which means substance or food, roughly. Surprised you don't know the basics, lad.
May have to suggest that to Prince Owen for ya, Ladybug, since apparently your education needs a little sharpening.
Sounds like someone needs the Durango Palmer special. What else can I get for each of you? Our special today is a rich variety. We have a hodgepodge with honey cornbread simmering cooked on top, honey glazed roasted quail, a spring mixture with seasonal berries, tomato basil with sourdough bread, and finally a sweet meat with roasted prickly pear. It's understandable. Master Coyle wants to be sure no man or creature is ever left out. I'll come back to you all later after the drinks. Speaking of which, the usual mix for the Moose Mentor?
Yes, please. And spice up the mango lair, please. With a little extra of your signature sauce.
Master Rogers?
I know what I want to eat. Hodgepodge with Durango Palmer. Please. A tall pint.
Facing the missus after a shenanigan? Very well. One last, well, not really, meal for the Raccoon Lord of Mischief. And you, young master? Ah, excellent choice. You finally decided, miss? If it were up to me, I would pick that one and accommodate it with that beverage. Perfect. I shall start off with the drinks and bring them to you shortly.
Thank you, Maddie. Now, where were we?
You were about to talk about your educational background, reminding these pups that there's humans have it good. You see, Gal here was formerly a slave in her world.
Sadly, I was born a slave due to what I am. You see, where I come from, slaves were never allowed to learn how to read or write. So most of my kind, the half-bloods, were assumed to be as dumb as the animal counterparts that we reflect. Even the slaves that served scholars weren't allowed, fearing that they would steal the information and turn it against their masters. I was formerly a slave on a plantation owner and was a servant for the owner's son, who had a private governor that would give private tutoring sessions. Ah, thank you, Maddie. I would be fanning the young master in the courtyard gardens while the lessons went on, and I took in every ounce of information and sewed it into my mind. I would often practice in the dark of the night, writing and reading the words I would find and inscribe them in the dirt. Every time I was interrogated whether or not I could or could not understand the words, I would just be playing the simpleton role that they wished to see me as, if only for their viewpoint. What was my first spoken word? Good question, boy. Kind. I chose the word kind, but that's what I wanted to be when I'm grown. I'm still growing at times, even as an adult. Well, lass, that is a remarkable tale. It turned out that the governor was a half-blood sympathizer and an abolitionist in secret. He must have seen that in my eyes that I was a scholar that was being formed inward, even when I stood as a slave, or so he told me. He planned on helping me escape, along with another half-blood, to free us from the lady of a house that was looking to purchase us. Of which, looking back now, I'd shake in fear so much that I do not wish to repeat her name here, for she would send those who she would deem worthy to be that of sport, of my fellow kind butchering one another. My former master knew that my father's bloodline was that of arena fires. He assumed that I would have to have the savage affliction to fight as my parents did. And if that wasn't suited, it would have been a far worse mate if they would have used me as a means to continue the line.
Indeed. It's extremely barbaric.
And here we are. Looks like Lord Doomskin needs another pint.
Ooh. Yes, please, Maddie.
All right then. And oh, here we are, your meals, ladies and gentlemen. And please, enjoy.
As I was saying, the abolitionists managed to get me and that half-blood out with the help of the young master, by hiding in a hay wagon. Fast forward to recently, I found a magical book that transported me to the worlds between the worlds. I met a steward librarian there, who furthered my education in order for me to teach free slaves of my kind how to read and write. Eventually, I adapted that to all creatures with them, along with humans.
Because she's of another dimension. Miss Galatian can't really teach the younger stewards. Have to be nearer born. And have to graduate from the seminary. Well, lad, my family and I were originally immigrants of the tunnel. I was grandfathered into teaching the position before those laws changed 2 years ago. High Knight and Chief Commander Kendra had enforced the laws as part of the border control method of the tunnel. It was a means to fix the mess of the previous members of the Congressional Congress made on not filtering and protecting renegades in the land from the tunnel. Fortunately, I have been a member of the Thelmian Council long enough to have a good credibility and a rather impressive teaching record. Kept my job and my seat. I wasn't at the meeting, because Vincini was my apprentice long ago. I couldn't allow my influence of power to table the turns that Shu would have wanted.
I can still be able to teach in a district in another world as a student teacher after getting consent from another Teklar commander of the area. A requirement for us tunnel dwellers. Tunnel dwellers. That's what the people of Nayab call those who are not of this nation. Or should I say, world.
Blame the Frontarian stewards for sharing that absurd. They may have the House Congressional Congress for the stewards, but they're
the source of structured decisions that made sure the other nations are just as secured as your job, Lord Rogers.
Can't my inevitable crossing just be peaceful?
Crossing? Surely your mate would understand the noble sacrifice you made by having Lady Lupin's kinsman saved thanks to that Jacomire. Having to vomit in the tin saved the poor creature from crossing of embarrassment. Poor creature. Still looking a bit green after all the withdrawing of that blood vein. And my dear Warden, you've never given this poor creature proper substance, while you all gorge in this king's feast.
Here you go, little guy. Sorry it took so long. The decapitated chickens took longer than anticipated to get the blood into it, but here it is. Blood orange chicken soup.
But I didn't order it, thank you.
No need to thank me. Thank Lord Hindress for covering the order and the cost.
First rule of the game, my dear. When someone offers their life of servitude to you, feed them well, or acknowledge their presence. If not their part, you'll see them being less distinguished in their work ethics for the end goal. Miss Galantine, Lord Rogers, Lady Buck.
Look, there goes wild Hindress, taunting its enemies, trying to make silly look evolved. To put the hay in the orange and eat the candle.
Come on now, Lord Rogers. Let's take you home.
Hearken! The chocolate mousse angel has come to help me cross the crossing. To go where no raccoon has gone before. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, he's fine. He just needs a little fresh air.
Woo!
I'll take him to his stead and explain to Lottie.
No need, Miss Gallatin.
Lottie! Oh, my sweet honeysuckle.
Hush, you. Your colleague told me what happened. What possessed you to...
It's my fault, my lady. I used your cookie tin when my mistress pulled it out of the messenger bag to...
It's all... What was my tin doing in an ancient artifact, Eugenius? I thought I told you to give it straight to them.
I did what you asked, Turtle Dove. I placed it there to surprise Vincini and the pups in case they got hungry during their journey to the Stone Forest. I didn't know that the messenger bat had a wicked sense of humor. I'm so sorry, my beautiful nocturnal bride. I'll go back to Villar.
Oh, hush, you fool. If I'm seen with two creatures groveling at my feet in public, I'll never hear the end of it from Mariah and the girls. And you. I accept your apology, but on the condition that you help my mate and his associates. If they cause mischief, report to me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You must be the ones that Eugenius told me about. I'm Lonnie Rogers. Thank you so much for looking after Vinci. If you need anything, my home is always open to you all. Now, Ms. Gao, I paid for your tab. Do you mind carrying my mate back home with me?
Of course, my lady, and thank you. It's a pleasure meeting y'all. And I'll see you in a few weeks, lad. Good night.
Yes, girl? It was Lord Hindress who informed me after my social gathering with the ladies. He told me what happened with the tinned case, with the little creature here. Knowing that Eugenius would panic, I had a friend watch over my young son while I came here, knowing that it's his go-to spot. Oh, don't display that look, boy. Not all individuals are what they seem. Asher Hindress just happens to have a raven's mindset of action and trickery. His endgame, from what I understand, is a mystery. Yet, it is as obvious as one's secret motivations.
As we walked down the streets, the sound of two men speaking in hardened tones captured their attention. What drew them closer was that one of the voices they identified as Lord Hindress. The other they did not recognize.
My lord, she's getting restless on matters of her abilities. Her influence of power to hold Bardac's decisions is displaying abuse of power, and all to save your reputation and skin.
You yourself claimed that she managed a mission without her brush.
And will continue to do so. I also heard and learned from several resources that 3 individuals had reached out to her for collaboration and assistance. She's more like a caged animal. The longer you neglect her needs, the more the terms are not addressed, and the more likely she'll go rogue thanks to your empty promises.
My hands are tied.
Cut the road apples on my hands are tied, Ishar. Promises you cannot keep are no better than lies. For someone who claimed that she had great talent, you're cynical enough to the point where even I question the hypocrisy and hidden gaslighting in honeycoat disguises.
You go too far, Asher.
With all due respect, my lord. But I only agreed to this because 2 kings are in a delicate situation, and to leave an artisan steward that is brewing for release would only attract Andres and Anya to do something if they learned of the situation we are all in with her. They will attempt to make a deal with her in exchange for...
Those novices that you assigned and mentioned fondly will keep her from such temptations. This is serious, Asher. As you said, she will be entering dangerous grounds. Sure, she got lucky with the dragon in the Emir's territory, but Andres the Condemned is an entirely different beast, as well as his sister.
Both that you have failed to capture.
My point is, if Victoria does anything out of line, know that she won't be under your protection, Lord Hindress.
I think you mean the Thalamian Council.
I choose to follow through with your scheme, so she wouldn't suspect that the Congressional Congress is observing her. But now, I can clearly see that you are just trying to butter me up for more than our mortal duties, Asher. Keep your hands out of reach. Only report if absolutely necessary. And Asher.
Yes.
Don't give historians an opportunity to explain to future generations that nations went to war due to your personal desires.
You know nothing of what my desires are. You never know what one desires other than your own and what you wish to see. Anyone who lives in that singular mindset without adapting and benefiting from it will only have shattered results.
What? I smell food. Wait. Oh, mistress. Please take me away fast.
You'll doom us all with your stone walls, Issachar. Allowing others to bleed for you over the long suffering of others. You know nothing. And make her help Vinci prove you and the others wrong.
Hello? Anyone here? Nobody home? Oh, come on, come on. Bring them over here. This is the perfect editing opportunity. Yeah, there we go. Can you do me a favor, my friend? My paws are really cramped out after all the writing and such, and I know I need to write through all of these chicken scratches. So, since you got better thumbs, you want to help me edit these? Ah, thank you so much. Alright, here we go. Which one was it? Oh yeah, here we go. 3.5 days passed since Lamar Mupin was saved from an early crossing. While waiting for the warrant and seal of approval from the hand of Corn Stewards, as well as all the kings of the Lammas and the mentioned country, Prince Owen Squire, now scribed as Owlet, you know, I really need to ask him how to pronounce it correctly. Anyways, they took the time to train and fight, both in hand-to-hand combat, and learn everything they know about the anti-essence defense in preparation for a possible confrontation with the siblings. Since legend had it, based upon the history books, that they were known for their mind games. Meanwhile, the warden, Lincoln, along with Kiki by her side, took the time to gather information from Lamar as he recovered, and to see what form of essence was used upon the cud that Kiki had managed to chew and gather. Dr. Newcastle took on this form of essence information, and at that point would spend a lot more time with his bride Lily to see what was conjured from it, for it was nothing like any of the veteran stewards had seen before. As for Victoria Rams, according to Dr. Newcastle, the past few days were a struggle for the Artisan Steward. Her thoughts were secretive, and she was distant and stayed away from most of the others. With the exception of Dr. Newcastle and his bride Lily, who she would have confidence and unload all the secrets, to which, for the record, were always given to the council, despite the distaste of the steward. On the fourth day, they were summoned by Lord Rogers to his office, which was formerly Miss Ram's office. The steward was in quite a tizzy as she looked at her formal studio. Her eyes narrowed, seeing the skull of the Draconicus hanging on the wall behind his desk.
Victoria, so glad you can make it, my dear. And your associates look well rested.
Trust me, I'd rather have my teeth pulled out.
Care for wine?
Don't butter me up with the ways of stalling. Lives may be at stake.
I'll have to agree with Miss Rams on this one. What news do you have of Corinth?
It took some negotiations and reasoning, but with assistance of Lord Issachar, we managed to give King Joab one more reason to allow us to access his country and receive our spies, as well as Princess Ennis.
But we don't even know if she's in Andras the Condemned's custody.
We have confirmed evidence.
What?
Dr. Newcastle's bride managed to get into Lamar's memories and found the singing voice he mentioned. We sent an orb to King Job, to which, fortunately, he confirmed the identity of the singer as his only daughter. Not necessary, lad. Since Lamar is a witness and a survivor, we needed solid evidence to support Hindra's proposal to Corinth's king.
It's more than that. You three will need to know what she sounds like if either of you three hears her.
And how do we, pray tell, are supposed to rescue her, let alone find the estate? Even if we locate it, Andras the Condemned will have wards everywhere, and the glamour will surely hide the princess.
The mistress knows.
Excuse me, this is private.
The mistress received a walking dream with a point days ago. I know who I am. I smelled the scribing essence at that time.
A likely story for a blood-sucking mixed one.
Hey! As much as I hate to admit that I am as skeptical as you are, Asher, it's worth taking this Jack Lemaire seriously. This one might be of help.
Fair enough.
Good. Now that that is settled, I want to now say to this lassie book why she didn't say anything, and why didn't you tell us that you could scribe? Huh. So this is relatively new to you? And that they have a hidden library?
If this is true, Andras the Condemned is planning to overthrow from the inside out.
This changes everything.
What are you saying?
We had the assumption that the barrier on both siblings' powers would discourage them from attacking again.
But she saw they have a library, and books are the greatest weapon to wield.
Precisely. This is why we need to make sure you three have a strong enough glamour to cover you all while getting into the estate. They may have gotten their hands on a burning book.
Even with a glamour, there must be some way we could find it without being spotted and... Wait, lad, taste your fingers.
I beg your pardon?
Something tells me, Asher, that you haven't read all the reports.
Be silent, Miss Rams.
Okay, got it.
Go ahead, son.
we just be dumb and smart? Doesn't make any sense. Fair point there, Lassie. Lincoln. Since Andres doesn't want someone who could read or write to work for him, we need to convince him to let us in. Fair point. Having another triad group would only intimidate him and his sister, resulting in raised suspicions. Unless you, Kiki, and I will be in the lad's shadow.
Are you proposing a method that has been deemed unacceptable by the Teklar?
What other choice do we have, Lord Bardock? Those two are suspecting that we of the stewards go by the book thanks to the enforcement of the Teklars. And yes, I am being open to that assumption, which is true. What it is, dear lad, is that we shadow commute 2 or 3 people, or more if you, depending on how powerful you are, to get into your shadow, and that way you could hide in plain sight. And we just waltz in there like a gifted trap. Well, lad, getting consent from your knight commander and temporary overrule of the law, it's gonna be a mixed challenge. But I'm sure it's not as scary as the trolls and everything that we endure. You're right, lass. 1 troll, the rest a mere... Okay, no need to push.
Even if the law is overruled, the head-in-chief Teklar commander will know of what's happened the moment Zontril reports the matter.
This is why we will have to assure Zontril that this overruling will save many lives before he retreats to his commander-in-chief.
Am I seeing this with my own 2 eyes? 2 Thalamus Council members going behind the Teklar's back, and with one of their squires present who's loyal to the core? Please tell me this isn't a dream, for surely this would not be right in the sight of all the loyalists and even the most zealous.
The artist speaks the truth. The lad is here, and by right he should report to his commanding officer. Yet, this intelligent young man can see that we have little choices in the matter. He needs to convince his knight commander of our motives and purpose. We should all be as light as rain when Dr. Newcastle makes a new shadow commute orb for our triad to walk and hide in plain sight.
Perhaps when that armor of yours and the arsenal is removed, this should be able to work, where they definitely would see you as a farmer's son looking for work. Yet, we do have one more obstacle. The Matters of Wisdoms have told us how to get in, but how are we supposed to find Andres and Anya?
I can track them if needed. Lord, Bardock, do you have anything that has, Andres scent?
That's weirdly specific due to the rate of time.
Well... Here, his blood, after I inflicted an injury on him 20 years ago.
Sir? Why did you... You know what? No, don't answer that. Go on, little guy.
Obviously, for tracking a fugitive when the opportunity arises.
across the mountains, to the seas, the siblings' heads lie, there under Corinth skies. An island that holds more than it seems, a past town called Elok. It holds mazes that are not what it seems. Mirrors reflect on not what's inside, for problems are solved on the other side.
That, my dear lass, would be a rare quality of your obedient servant. The ability to reach out through an essence core and detect the individual's location, even if they are an ocean away. That's why creatures like him were sought after.
Only you, Hindress, can make a creature like Gigi feel like a piece of prized property. It's true, Lincoln. It's true. Now, we must set out and head north as soon as possible.
It will take a long time to convince the Knight Commander.
No need, my lady.
Sweet maker!
As much as I despise the idea of using shadow commute, we're not getting anywhere without us sitting in our chairs drinking and waiting.
How long were you hidden, Commander? Who authorized?
Lord Hindress authorized the matter to see the meeting under the terms of King Joab's Knight Commander. I also wanted to see how the shadow commute functions before deciding on the overruling. With the assistance of Dr. Newcastle, and his bride showed me and made me participate to see what it was like.
Barnabas, why are you always one step ahead?
So now that we've been dancing around until the sun is done, these three shall depart for Corinth in the morning. You are all dismissed, all except the Knight Commander.
Of course, my lady. Lord Bardock? Lord Hindress? Knight Commander?
As much as I hated seeing that this method of sneaking in is deviant, you can't argue with the results. Anyways, the following morning, the Triad, with the addition of the creature Gigi, made their way northward past the borders of Thalamus and into Corinth. They walked for nearly 7 days on foot to reach the large town area of Elok. Oh, you're so right. Just the large city of Elok. I forgot about the population growth. The squire, now dressed in rural citizen clothing, gave his bow and arrows to the warden as he placed his sword in the messenger bag following suit for safety. The only weapon he carried with him was a simple hunting knife. The last would often glance at the squire in secret to see what was hiding underneath the armor as things unfolded, making him look a little more human to her.
You seem to like it. The simplicity of the young master. He looks less scary. He won't hear us, mistress. He's too far away for him to hear us. He does seem to have a lot on his mind. I can detect his emotions based on the rhythms of his heartbeats and breathing. He looks at you, too. There's no shame in that, mister. He's coming. The man on horseback, a mile ahead of us.
Oh, nice catch there. It doesn't make sense on the ahead with that grammar. Give me a break. I have been going through so much interrogations and trying to scribble everything and trying to get words from Geeky right at that point. It's almost up and down and sideways. Well, I'll correct that later. Little script. But anyways, Gigi and the warden ran up to catch up with the squire and Vinci, all of them warning about the upcoming riders.
What? What is it? Really? You sure? Okay, okay, this is it. Here we go. Lassie, Gigi, get right behind me. Right here in the lad's shadow. Okay, come on. Grab onto me. Okay, where's that orb? Ah, here it is. Okay, Barnabas. Let's see if this works. Shadow sing so we could be seen, with the rhythm of he, so we can dance unseen.
After that moment, the base of the shadow then gripped around Vinci's legs, followed by Lincoln, and then followed by Gigi, dragging them down into the ground, which is now darker in the depths of the shadows like a body of water. They were transitioned into a space that seemed similar to where the winds and shadows coated in the dancing lights of night that glittered like diamonds. Various forms and shapes and colors, all in a darkened hue of purple, black, and navy blue, danced around them. A window of the world of which they were was above where they now stood. One must note that the window's position will change when the shadows are in different positions. Gigi then shook, and right down to the core, as he climbed up Lincoln's leg and landed into the messenger bag in fear of being seen of the stars and the shadows figures that move around, and smelling the strangers in their space that belonged to no one but them. Hey, like I said before, these are Gigi's words, not mine. I'm going to edit them later for the full report before the Grand Council.
Keep them away, mistress. They know too much. They see, know, and hear things. They are the children of Baracus, the ones that interbreed with their dame of a dying star. They do not want to see their father's face.
So, this is what it's like being in the shadows. It's strangely pleasant. Well, I think it's because our bodies are only temporary in rhythm of the shadows. Look how everything seems to bend when the lad is walking. We're currently fluent, flexible, and possibly indestructible. Go ahead, lass. Hit me. Waiting for a full explanation? Come on! Just hit me! Oh! I said my number first! Wow, that stumped on my theory of indestructible. Ooh, you got a nice hook.
Oi, can you read or write, boy?
Hey, look up.
Would you like to work for me? You're the first to question.
Oh, stop overthinking it, Andre. The boy should know what is offered to him. From the look of his strength, he probably worked at a mill. You could just be another farmer's son looking for work.
Bah. I'm a horse and bird breeder for racing and potential instruments of war. While my sister and I travel around Corinth to sell and buy, we require workers to watch over our livestock and poultry on our estate. You'll be rewarded well once we return an equal share with Mr. Conger in the back of the wagon there, who will work alongside you.
Oh great, we got another accomplice now, probably.
What say you, boy?
come on. This is our only way in.
Excellent. Anya, make sure the young master has room.
Fine. As if we don't already have enough room to spare. Hop on in, laddie.
Hello there. Left your farm as well? Hi. That I did. Name's Edwin. Edwin Conger of Ella. Pleased to meet you, Master Benson. Where are you from?
Okay, good. Nice to use the alias.
Ah, not too far away from here.
Well, despite having the add-on, we're making our way in. Now, we wait and we watch. We stay put, hopefully be out before the sun goes down.
In here? Do we have to?
I know, little guy.
By evening, the fugitive siblings led the hidden company and the new worker called Edwin to the castle estate that rested on the small island off the northern coast. It had no guards, no servants, not even a chamberlain to greet them as they stalked along a beautiful garden surrounded by a tall horseshoe-shaped hedge. While Andres the Condemned unsaddled the horses, the sister, Anya the Pursuer, showed the gentleman to a large room where a mass amount of caged birds squawked and called out as their slumber was disturbed at that point. She later showed them the stables where there were a massive amount of horses present, each of them of different breeds and colors that were like river stones. Andres the Condemned later returned with 2 freshly saddled horses. As he handed one over to his sister, he approached the 2 men.
The servants' quarters are on the northwestern side of the estate. The kitchen is open to whatever food is required. The rest of the estate is prohibited, and neither of you is to touch or take anything else.
I understand.
Work well, and we will reward you all upon our return.
Gentlemen, good luck. My brother can be very fickle. Prove him wrong for me. I have 100 sheds on the line. Otherwise, may the best man win. Yeah!
Meanwhile, as the siblings rode away, from the distance, at the edge of a cliff line overseeing the castle, a tall figure stood and watched over the castle and the horizon. His eyes, rich with red-brown colors, saw the figures hidden in the squire's shadow. And as his own associates, hidden in his own shadow, see the events that are yet to unfold.
How about informing us what's going on? Did those 2...
They are already gone, and not knowing that they have allowed extra foxes right into their chicken coop. Long soldier, I beseech you, you must let us out at this point, young man. I can only take on Ira's stinking corn chip beef for too long. I've already had so many years with this man, and Maker knows how much more flexibility I can have as an old mage.
Patience, my friends. We just need to watch and wait to see if Miss Rams and her associates can remove the scab of a wound that holds an infection long overdue for a weeping.
Never been in a castle before, let alone an estate this grand. It's massive. You don't seem too moved or excited by it. Oh, so you worked with a rich landlord before? I see. Well, you'll have to share some tips on how to make them happy, especially with all these horses and birds to look after. Divide and conquer seems to be our best option at this point. Maker above, I'd never seen so many. Ah, this must be where the servants' quarters are. And these must be our bedrooms. You take the first pick, friend. Nice choice of view of the sea. Well, that leaves me seeing the garden. Don't get me wrong, it's lovely, even if it's simple. Anyways, big day tomorrow. Good night.
What? Oh. Oh, I never thought that things would get tight and crowded in there during sunset and dusk. Ugh. Such limited space. Hey, Lincoln, where's Kiki? Wait, hold on. Oh dear. Hang on, little guy. I'll get you out of this helmet.
Finally. Fresh air. Free from them.
Believe it or not, shadows of square areas stretch limitations due to the positions of the light. Oh. Ooh, ow. Now, Leslie Buck, do you mind soundproofing the whole room? Thanks. Alright, so here's the plan. For the search and rescue mission, while Edwin and the lad here work... You have to. So that there is no suspicion, that's all. And if we get caught... Anyways, tomorrow, the lassie, Gigi, and I will search around for the library. Hopefully we'll find the princess along the way.
And the two stewards Master Lupin described to the young mistress.
Don't worry, I won't forget about them neither. Whoa, jeez, lad, what tapeworm is eating ya? Well, she was kind of fulfilling her job requirements of gathering information we need for this mission, lad. Not to mention the attention to detail needed for the reports and... Huh. Usually that lad wouldn't give a tinker's curse about anything involving the stewards. Or should I say... Wait. No, not really. The only time he really seemed to care for her was after when the lassie was turned into stone. After all, he was ordered to protect us. Well, more likely, protecting those around. According to the council. Suppose I don't count as worth protecting.
So, what did Lamar tell you, lassie? So he doesn't know what happened to Luca or Kyle? Or what they were turned into? Well... if the essence was strong enough to reform someone's voice box, I'm sure that Andres the Condemned placed something that wouldn't allow them to speak the king's language. And we certainly can't speak bird and horse.
I could assist with that. I can't make them talk, mistress, but I can feel, sense, and read them by natural ways of communication. Instinct. I'll stay discreet and hidden while I look so that the farmer boy Edwin doesn't see me.
During that time, lassie, you and I will be wandering through the evidence while searching for the princess, finding condemning evidence against Andres the Condemned and his sister. See what I did there? Anything would be crucial, like some form of an evidence, documents, a burning book or two. By tomorrow evening, make her willingly, we will find that along with the princess and the 2 spies. Ah, laddie. Nice of you to get changed and clean. Now that you're here, here's a review of the plan. Lamar mentioned that singing happened right before midday. Once we hear that song entering into our heads, we drop what we do, find that voice, rescue Princess Inez, find the library, gather the evidence that we need, and get the void out of this place. Right. And don't get caught in any of the possible traps. Pretty sure there's a trigger spell that would let the siblings know when one of us sets it off. That will be a challenge indeed. Now, let's get some sleep, everyone. We have a long day ahead of us with unborrowed time. Alright, let's see. Okay, no. Nah, got it. Alright. Yes! 2 sleeping mats with blankets. Thank you, Lord Rogers. Here, think fast, lad. Whoever sleeps on the bed, I'll leave it to one of you 2 to decide. In the meantime, I call the floor, and I am going to sleep like the dead. Ah, don't mind me. I'm used to it. Good night.
It was the Squire Aidan who'd woken first the next morning. As he quietly rose from the floor, he found Gigi cuddling up next to Lincoln, right by her head on the pillow. Both of them looked so peaceful in their sleep, even when the warden was holding a knife underneath her pillow. The squire smiled, knowing it was the same knife he had given the warden as a means of protection not long after the incident under the mountain. He quietly woke both of them before he made his way outside to meet Edwin Conqueror, followed by the Jack Lemire trailing behind him from a distance. When the lad made it to the stables, he saw Edwin entering into the housing of the birds with a large sack of feed in his arms. He then took this opportunity, now in the guise of a farmer's son, to muck out the stalls. The familiar musky smell of horses, even the wetness in the waist reminded him of his childhood home. After half an hour, the squire was focused on mucking everything when a voice from behind caused him to jump, scattering the road apples into the air and into the clean courtyard.
Oh, Maker! Sorry, didn't mean to sneak up on you there. You're never gonna get good pay with all the road apple flakes still lying around. Whoa, hey, nothing against you, friend. But I'd meet many of the men and women of the horse passions who are fickle when it comes to the cleanliness of their animal stalls. Didn't you say that you worked on other estates in the past, if I remembered right? Rusty, huh? Well, may I? See, when after you get the remaining apples, you take the rake here and make sure you pull them away from the edges and into the middle. Like this. And this. Make sure none of those piles are wet. Now here. There you go, that's much better. Personally, I like the one over there. I'll tell you what, I'll help you finish with the stalls, then we will divide and conquer on grooming all the pretty little horses. Now, tell me about the last estate you worked at. What was the masters like? Now, which of these horses are your favorite? I like that one over there.
While the young men worked, the rest of the women managed to find Kiki right after having a rapid breakfast of apple fritters that Lottie Rogers made, which I may for the record say are one of the personal Yes, okay, I'll finish telling the story. The women explored the estate for a long while, finding nothing. The only room that they managed to find unlocked was that of a bedroom that they assumed was Anya the Pursuer's. The room had a rich smell that was accompanied by all the dried herbs and flowers that were hanging from the ceiling. The only other door that was open was that to a balcony that oversaw the ocean view, and the natural daylight gave show of natural claws that dug into the stone that seemed rather unnatural.
Now this is a room that was decorated with the help of an herbalist or an incubus. Might possibly be a bit of both. But what's with these kind of herbs for? What am I saying? This is not what we came here for. Did you find anything, lass? Oh, whoa, yikes. Well, that's not a good place for the members of the Congregational Congress members and the Royals on this target practice. Wait, is that a map? Why would she have all these areas pinned? And what's with these particular dates next to them? I doubt that. Maybe these are locations in the forests and mountains away from the town. Maybe to find something that'll help be a resource. Unless they could be connected to private estates or... No matter. Okay, it's not much, but it'll have to do. They are not needed. Shh, shh, shh. Yeah, I sure do. Come on, let's go.
Excuse me. I'm looking for 2 Thalmian stewards. You know where they are and what they're turned into? No? Okay. Know of a bird or a horse named Kyle and Luca. The gray and black blue rowans, right next to the pale blue roan mare's stall. I don't see a mare of that color. One of the siblings must have taken her on. Wow. It's beautiful. Wait. Oh! Mistress! Did you both hear it? Not yet, mistress. But I found out what color they are. But there are too many Kyles.
Kiki, you stay and keep looking for them. Here. If you get caught or things go south, shatter this.
Yes, Steward Rams. Please be careful, mistress. Well, I could group the Kyles.
Wow, look at all of this food. Oh. Oh, sorry. It's been so long since I had a decent meal. Void, I don't recall seeing this mass amount of food anywhere in Elok. Oh, and it's still hot. How did it appear like this so quickly? Well, it's clear that magic is involved. You seem unmoved by... Did you hear that? Sounds like... Maker above. That is the most beautiful voice my mind had just engraved into memory. It sounds like it's coming from the garden. Hey, wait! Wait! Where are you going? Wait, slow down! Hey, friend! Why are you running as if the Void's hounds are tracking you? What's with all of this shrub? I don't recall seeing this many hedges. I can't even see the fountain.
That was centered in the garden. Oh, lass, wherever you are, please be careful. If I had my brush, I don't even know what I would paint if I were be here in dead end. Why did I leave the Jackalamere behind? He could have just... Ladybug! Thank you. And thank the Maker you're here. If you missed that one bend from behind, I would have been a goner. Good idea.
One may never know what a trap is. Maker above! Hold on, miss. I got you. Come on. Are you all right? What are you... Are you a servant? Wait, you're not? Then, hold the mollies, you're a steward. And judging by your attire and accent, you're a Thalaminian steward. I learned about various cultures while I was in school. I know that the crest of the Thalamus stewards fests on your tunic, and your accent. Thanks. But come now, miss. Let's get out of this maze and find the owner of that beautiful voice. But we need to trench carefully. What's your name, love? Edwin Conger. A pleasure. So, what happened?
To you, it was horrible. I can assure you, my mistress and friends will help you.
Get out of this maze without losing our minds. What, you had corn mazes in your village or something? That's why you seem so comfortable around being in this confounded of a maze. Bet this reminds you of your hometown. Fair enough. I kind of understand your feelings about family and all of that, leaving everything you know behind. I haven't spoken to my brother in a long time. It's complicated. Let's just say I've done things that caused him to overlord me without any explanations. He has his own ivory tower, and I have an open, worldwide studio of possibilities, and yet he insists on being a parent, even though he's younger than me by 18 months. Not right now. Unless I'm in deep mire, he'd
turned me away on the spot after I told them that I can read and write. And I was so desperate to find work, so I waited for half a day, changed my clothes, and ran to the other side of the large hill that the road bends over and was ahead of the siblings. When the brother asked me if I could read or write, I gave him the answer that they wanted to hear. So yes, I lied, just as your squire did. Anyone can see from his stance that he was military, and a Teklar no less. I didn't ask or say anything, for I assumed that he was a deserter. That wasn't the case when...
With all of us here, trapped like rats, we need to figure this out. Shh. Listen. It sounds like... And it sounds like Lincoln and... Hey, lad! Where are you going? Wait, stop! Wait! We don't know where any of those bends may hide. Come on! Let's stop! Look! Stop! There! You see that? There, plain as day. Okay. In order to avoid the trigger, just go along the wall and step over that wire that you see at the base there. Be as light as snow. There. Okay. Easy. There. Okay. Now you could go crazy. Alright, lad, you bet. Oh! Well, oh dear.
Well, hello, friend. Nice to see you. And, oh, another maze runner.
Not a runner exactly, but ta-da! Fortunately, except for the voice that's yet to be seen for quite some time, we are all in one piece without getting caught in any traps, it seems.
According to my observations, the voice seems to be at the center point of the maze. If we all stay together, we get to that point and find another way out. After we locate the owner of that beautiful set of pipes.
It's me on the February!
What? The Princess Inez? Here? How can you be sure? I see. The stewards never go out for a rescue mission without confirmation and proof.
At this point, for the sake of overuse of exposition, how do you know all this to no surprise?
Just as there's no point in asking if my fellow lad is a Tekler squire. Don't worry, I won't rat on you all. What are your names?
I'm Vinci Rams. This is the Warden Steward Lincoln, and you already meet Aladdin, but now know his full name.
Edwin Conger. A pleasure.
I just have but one question. If you were to reach all of our goals, what do you really think you could gain now that you know about the princess?
Let's see. If the sole heir to the throne is rescued and returned to her father, a rich reward is still out there for anyone who does such a rescue. That kind of money will help support a man's aging father, who had made mass amounts of sacrifices so his son can go to school. So Key, the son, can give that old man a more comfortable and rich life in the end. I have my reasons to justify my lie. No different than when the lad had to get in, as well as you two.
You do have a point, lass. Look, Edwin, if you're worried about the reward money being thwarted because of our involvement, don't threaten. The Thalimian stewards only want your country's princess to be safely rescued. We are only looking for evidence against Andras the Condemned and Anya the Pursuer in matters of suspicion in transfigurative experimentations. Wow, that's a mouthful. Once we get that, Princess Inez and the two missing Thalamian spies, then we are open to negotiate whatever matters that you feel comfortable for the sake of your old pops.
Seems there's more of a story to tell.
And just like that, Victoria, you slipped everything. Nice.
Fine, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. First, let's find the center of the maze. And no traps, please.
Alright, but let's find that gorgeous voice first.
Has he always been this spellbounded?
Okay, good. Just have my not us.
As they clustered closer together, the group had wandered their way towards the center of the maze, which took about almost an hour to reach. The center of the garden was displayed with a tall, beautiful tree with a fountain of pure white marble with a dragon statue spewing water from its muzzle. There, leaning against that tree, stood a young woman with such beauty that matched her voice that echoed through the maze, causing the company to stop in their tracks, waiting for the song to finish before approaching. After a moment, with eyes gazed upon what he quoted was a goddess in immortal form of beauty, approached the princess, causing her to stop and fawn for a bit before she stood and greeted the company.
Princess Inez, we've come to rescue you. Those behind me are the stewards in Teklar, as you may or may not...
What my associate is trying to say to you, Your Highness, we're at your service. I'm Victoria Rams of Thalamus. These are my associates behind me. And of course, this babbling gentleman here is...
Edwin, I know who you and the Tekler are. You see, lad, I am the pale blue roan mare, with the flaxen mane and tail. I resided in the stall where Edwin taught you how to clean a stall properly. I also heard you talk and recite a poem that seemed to be made for someone.
For someone, eh? My suspicions may be correct.
Well, thanks to this fountain, I can become human, but for only certain moments of the day. I suppose I should thank the magician's sister for granting me this brief time.
Forgive me, Your Highness, but do you have any idea why the condemned and the pursuer captured you? Or what their plan is?
I'm afraid not. Nor do I know why they took me against my will.
If I may be so bold to ask, Princess, how did either one or both of them curse you?
It happened on my way home, after having a meeting at the Congressional Congress estate with Lord Issachar.
Wait, you went alone? Why did you go and not your representative?
My father had been ill on and off for quite some time, and with my nation's stewards trying to settle the matters between them and the Emir, it's my sole responsibility to take on these tasks, just as my mother had done. While there, Lord Issachar and I discussed the matters of what my emissary and the Emir's people's ambassadors discussed with our kings, including yours, and what to do with the Stone Forest territory. And after hearing about the Lustra conquest that may be entering our lands at the time, I decided to take the long way around.
Oh, Maker, that's never gonna let down.
As I rode in my carriage, a dove came out of nowhere and flew right inside, begging me in the king's language to hide him. Before I could ask what or who was after him, a woman stepped in front, causing it to stop. What happened next, well, all I could say is it's not all that it seemed. That woman then turned into a Draconequess and attacked us on the spot. None of my guards survived, and the dove fled before I could see.
But he was here. He got into the Welsh's carriage. You know his 7 years are coming to a... The princess is alive if you neglect to see. We'll see what the dragon necklace, what the steward released, did this anyway. So no harm, no foul. We need it to look like a freak accident anyway. Knowing them, they're always looking for a new witch to hunt. What are you doing? Keep telling yourself that.
Lass? Lincoln? Are you okay, Lassie? I don't know, but... Oh, wait. Here she is, Ladybug. Okay, here we go, Les. There you go. Where have you been? Well, you were staring into the abyss and then you just tripped and landed on your knees. Wait, you saw all of that? You saw Anya, the pursuer, turn into Draconequus, and then the siblings were just scrambling around and a figure? Wait, you're saying they're intending to harm and capture and possibly assassinate all the members of the royal families of Nyarb? Note to self, keep the orb for these kind of matters.
Is your apprentice a dream sensor?
She's not my apprentice, she's not professional, but yes, she has the gift.
I'm with the lad on this one. What?
So much for being educated. Dream sensors can see things like one's watching a theater play on stage, basically in the mind. In theory, these abilities are supposed to confirm the speaker's testimony and they, of course, unearth untold facts. In other cultures, they are called Morrigans, the truth tellers.
The Maker must have gifted her these abilities for reasons like now.
Hold your gates there, farm boy. That's not entirely true. These abilities may not always be permanent. I mean, some dream sensors have more visions and dreams with direct and indirect answers over the years, and then one day, poof, it's gone. That's when they retire and move on from that position. The lad has a good question. Where are the rest of them who practically were looking for you?
Those who came before you were men just coming out of the seminary to seek work. Every time one hears my singing, they get lured into the maze, only to get caught by the traps. When one was triggered, either the siblings would return and turn them into either horses or birds. The last set who came before you were Kyle, Luca, and Lamar. I knew they came from either the Tekla or the stewards, as men don't usually travel in herds. I don't know what happened to the latter, but the rest of them were turned into horses. They said days later, while in the stables, that they were stewards of Thalamus. I asked them how they managed to find me, to which they explained an old crone tipped one of their sources. Both of them are Rowans, but different. Luca is blue and Kyle is a lighter gray dapple.
Well, at least Geeky got half of the information, right? He should be able to...
Getting you two, the princess, my mistress and her friends, out of here without triggering anything.
When Andros and Anya return, chances are they'll offer gold, or a horse each. Whoever survives the maze, if only one, has to take Princess Inez.
Guess the fountain time's up. And should be back soon.
In the meantime, whoever has survived, you'll need to take them to the hidden library at the northern wing.
Mistress, you're whole and alive.
Whoa, what is that thing?
Mistress Rams, I found the stewards, and I know where the library is at.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
I will find a way to free you, princess. I swear on my life I will, or void take me.